Welcome, respected friends. Let's continue studying our Yoga Vasishtha Maha Ramayana Shastram. Om, 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 Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu, Ma Vidvishavahai. ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म भक्ति योग धर्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ओम यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्य प्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्व वेदान्ताः सच्चास्त्राः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। ओम श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने। ओम ब्रह्मानंदं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म भक्ति योग धर्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मत् गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्री रामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे श्री वशिष्ठादि ऋषिभ्यो नमः। संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषत् योग वासिष्ठ महारामायणोक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यमोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्षकैवल्य प्राप्त्यर्थं सनातन धर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगत्यर्थं धर्म संस्थापकानां नित्य निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराम मंदिरवत् शिवकृष्णादि मंदिरादीनां पुनर्वाप्ति तेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातन धर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रुविघ्न शाश्वत समूल निर्मूलन पूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिक हिंदव संस्कृतेः धर्ममोक्ष पुरुषार्थानां सुसंप्रतिष्ठावाप्त्यर्थम् अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां संकल्पित सत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयः तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम् अनेक शास्त्राणाम अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री वाल्मीकि महर्षि विरचित श्रीराम वशिष्ठ संवाद रूप श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण स्मृति मोक्ष प्रकरण शास्त्रस्य पारायणम् अध्ययनं साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। मंगलाचरण श्लोकाः। ओम यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैवोपशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं दृष्टा दर्शन दृश्यभूः कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञप्त्यात्मने नमः। स्फुरन्ति सीकरा यस्मात् आनन्दस्याम्बरे अवनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। दिवि भूमौ तथाकाशे बहिरन्तश्च मे विभुः यो विभात्यवभासात्मा तस्मै सर्वात्मने नमः। सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तमेकमजरं नित्यं विभुं शाश्वतं प्रत्यग्ब्रह्मरसायनं सुखगनं पूर्णं परं पावनं स्वात्मज्योतिरनादिमध्यनिधनं मायाविलासैर्मुहुः विश्वाकारमपास्तमायमभयं वन्दे विशुद्धं पदं। ज्ञानादेवात्मनो मोक्षः न तु कर्मसमाधिभिः अज्ञातोऽसौ स्वसदृश्यं सृजत्येवेति कीर्त्यते। तस्मै श्री गुरवे वसिष्ठमुनये नित्यं नमस्कुर्महे। विश्वामित्रमुनिं शरण्यमनघं भूयो नमस्याम्यहं। तस्मै वाल्मीकये श्री गुरुतमगुरवे भूरिभावैर्नताः स्मः। पूर्णानन्दस्वभावः स्वजनहितकृते माययोपात्तकायः कारुण्यादुद्दिदेर्षुर्जनमनवरतं मोहपङ्के निमग्नम् आविश्यान्तर्वसिष्ठं बहिरभिगलयन् शिष्यभावं वितेने यस्संवादेन शास्त्रामृतजलधिममुं रामचन्द्रं प्रपद्ये। ओम श्री रामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः। वशिष्ठादि ऋषिभ्यो नमः। श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण शास्त्रं तृतीय उत्पत्ति प्रकरणं लीलोपाख्याने मरण समनंतर देह जीव प्रतिभा वर्णनं नाम द्विपञ्चाशत्तमः सर्गः। श्री वशिष्ठ उवाच ज्ञप्तिरुवाच। So these Leelas, all beauties are explained. Then such Leela, what happened to her? Tvat sankalpatmakasya esha yada vartu manah kala. You have sankalpa. Your sankalpa may your husband. And he has got a sankalpa in his mind. According to that, tada tat sadrushakara sthita esha. That in that rupa, now she is appearing accepted by him. How come all that happened? It will be told after three shlokas, but here one word is used, chit chamatkrutau. This is the chamatkara of the chit. That when the chitta does any sankalpa, the chitta permits it. Therefore, all these sankalpas can happen. Then what happened to her? Now she died. Tvad bhartur marane. When your husband died, kshipram samanantaram evahi. Immediately after that, Tvad bhartra esha puro drushta. He died. Immediately after that, in front of him, he saw her. Tat sankalpatmana amuna. How? Because he was with you and your sankalpa was in his mind. Okay, according to that, this one he has seen in front of him. So tadvartur marane kshipram samanantaramevahi. Tadbhartra esha puro drushta tat sankalpatmana amuna. So it is out of his sankalpa only she is generated, she is brought near, and now she is married to him, she is his husband, his wife, etc. Then the question is, how when she is Chitta Sankalpa, got the solid form and seen inside, in front, and interacted, contacted. These are the two main shlokas to be very carefully understood. Very subtle it is, very difficult to digest it. Immediately the buddhi won't accept it. But that is the subtlety of the Vedantic knowledge, in which this is how the truth is explained. How the truth and the truth or position of the world also is explained. And that is what we have to sort out. What is the experience of the Mahatmas? They have put it in these mantras, shlokas, texts. We have to work on that for us to reach to that level of experience. ध्यान से वन यदादि भौतिकं भावं चेतो वेत्ति न सन्मयं चेत्यं सन्मयमेवात आतिवाहिक कल्पनम सी यदा listen carefully आदि भौतिक भावम the grossness adi bhautika means made with the stula pancha mahabhutas, that is bhava, a solid bhava. Chetah vetti, when the chitta does the sankalpa of the adi bhautika, then because of the say permission or blessing of consciousness, that adi bhautikata is manifested there. So chetyam sanmaya. Therefore, this solid stula sharira appear to be sanmaya. But is this a stula sharira truly true? No, it is from where? From the ativahika sthiti only, chitta sthiti. When the stula, because of our vasanas and insistences of many lives, is given reality, the cause of this stula called as ativahika. At the time, ativahika kalpanam, the ativahikata doesn't appear, it is not comprehended, it is not understood. So if you are looking at a person or a tree, it is Stula Rupena seen. That Stula Rupena seen is because of our thousands of lives of samskaras, vasanas, habits, etc. In which we have seen them wantedly or unwantedly, we have interacted with them, we owned it, we disowned it, we liked, we disliked. Vyavhar jitna bhi kiya ho. Basically, that solidity is given reality. Those vasanas, every life were strengthened, strengthened, strengthened. They were in this life also. People around us also tell us about this world to be grass only. वो पेड़ है और ये बंदा है वगैरह. Because of that, that is really taken as stula. But can the stula exist without sukshma? It cannot. Then when you are seeing stula, what is happening to sukshma? It is there only, but not comprehended by you because your दृष्टि is on stula. और उससे बात बन रहा है, उससे काम हो रहा है. बात समझ में है? इसलिए स्थूल ही जब दिखता है आतिवाहिक कल्पनम. एट दैट टाइम द आतिवाहिकता इज टेकन एज कल्पना और नॉट सीन एट ऑल. One stage is this one. Ki from thousands of lives of abhyasa, sthulata is given reality value. Therefore, it appears as real. Its cause, sukshma, is never apprehended, seen at all. Its cause. That without sukshma, sthula cannot. Isn't it? Because sukshma is the sukshma sthiti of everything, not the sthula. Sthula ka real position sukshma hi hai. Second one. Now, yada adi bhautikam bhavam cheto veti na sanmayam. This is a powerful thing. Chetaha means our chitta. Veti, when it knows. What it knows? Adi bhautika bhavam na sat iti. The adi bhautikata is not real. When the chitta gets fully convinced of it. How the chitta can get fully convinced of the unreality of the adi bhautikata? Only by the Shravana Manana Chintana, Shravana Manana Chintana, Shravana Manana Chintana. That the Sthula cannot be without a Sukshma. Sthula can never exist without the Sukshma. Sukshma, imagined only appearing in the form of Sthula. ये अभ्यास बहुत समय तक करके इतने जन्मों से स्थूल सत्य है जो भाव हमने रखा. When we have rejected it, just imagine the state of mind of that person. Imagine his darshana of the world. He will see the whole world as a thought level only. He won't see at the gross level. And like your children, grandchildren, somewhere they're different country. You remember them in your eyes, mind. They're all in the thought only, na? So to your parents, elderly, old or left body, they are thought in our mind, Remember, the same world in front of us now, whom we see are grossly, they are also thought only, but grossified. When we realize it and the solidity given, grossness, reality, importance given to grossness, solidity, when goes away, yada adi bhautikam bhavam chetah veti na sanmayam. Not sattva. Means through that yukti, without subtle the gross cannot be. The gross subtle alone is appearing as gross because of my desire, because of my insistence, because of my various karmas, because of my prarabdha to be existed, to be exhausted. For so many reasons, this is appearing as gross, but really it is not. Like anything you see a house, it is so gross and solidly seen. And that's how we have constructed it. But actually, if you see, it's nothing but the scattered, although not what is that, bricks and cement, etc., brought together. That's it. है ना. कोई घर बनने से पहले या बनने के टाइम आप देखो, इधर ईट है, उधर पत्थर है, इधर रेत है, there the concrete is there, and here you see the iron is there, isn't it? After 6 months, you see the beautiful house is made. Now, that is where we have to be very careful to understand the reality and delusion. The items which were kept here and there before the construction or during the construction, and the house building which is appearing so neat and clean with all the walls, roofs, surfaces, and all, are they two? These only assembled like that. In the same way, the solidity which we give to the world is because of our insistence, because of our habit, because of our inability to recognize the subtle to be real, as well as our inability to detach from the gross. In fact, if you ask in one sentence what is the entire spiritual sadhana, it is just one thing only, that is traveling from the gross to the subtler. That's it. This is Vedanta. This is sadhana. Sthula se sukshma. In that way, sukshma se sukshma, atyanta sukshma is Brahman, the reality. Traveling into sukshma is called the adhyatmikata. Giving reality to sukshma more and more, which is a fact, is called adhyatmikata. And sabse sukshma hai the adhisthana Brahma. That alone is real. That only with Maya Shakti appearing as all this. Yet it is not changing. Appearing world is having substratum in it everywhere because the Paramatma is everywhere. Maya Shakti is also everywhere in Paramatma. And the next to next shloka say, wherever the Chitta is doing whatever Sankalpa, that Sankalpa ke Karana, that Paramatma is appearing to be like that, not becoming like that. Right? Never use the word creation from now onwards. The pot is not created out of the mud, isn't it? Pot is only projected, imagined, manifested out of the mud, not created. And if created, it must be real. If it is real, the pot must be permanent. So too, if the created, then the mud should disappear. But mud is intact even in the pot. है ना? जिसको आप created कहते हो, वो परमानेंट है ही नहीं है, इंडिपेंडेंट है ही नहीं है. How do you call it as created? और साथ में जिससे वो बना है, वो तो हमेशा यथावत ही है. Is the mud has changed? No. Then if the mud is as it is, from the mud the pot is not created. Is the pot independently existing? No, it is not there. Then also when it is not existing, how can you call it as creation? This is the jadoo of the Maya and the mind. Wisdom can eliminate this delusion. Only the wisdom can remove this imagination or delusion. So, in this way, yada adibhautikam bhavam cheto veti na sanmayam. That is the practice of so many lives. That the stula is not real, sukshma alone is real. Stula is only temporary, sukshma is real. When we go on practicing, then what happens? Ativaika sankalpa tada satyopajayate. That time, that ativaika will be understood to be satya, the sukshma. When the insistence on the stula is made, stula appears to be real, ativahika is not even in our vicinity. So too, when the reality given to stulata is transcended, then the ativahika thing is seen. So everything in this world is first in the gross form only. Sorry, subtle form only. Then it got grossified. First सब सूक्ष्म में होता है. So therefore, this Leela is his Chitta Rupa only. But he wanted her to be in the Stula Rupa because of his Sankalpa, the power of his Sankalpa, that somehow the Pancha Mahabhutas had to come together to give this Sharira. And he insisted to have a Rupa like yours only because he was in that liking to you. Therefore, your form is seen there. So who is that other Leela grossly, solidly seen? Nothing but the Chitta Vrittis of Raja Padma. Because of his Chitta Vritti and he wanted her to be Stula, she appeared like Stula. And he wanted her to be like you, therefore that Leela is exactly like you. So Ativaika Sankalpa tada Satya Upajayate. Okay. This is how atho marana samvitya punarjanmamaye bhrame tvam hi samviditanena tvaya chagata eva saha. See, atha marana samvitya. When that leaving this body, which we call as death, when he experienced that Jiva, the Padma Raja, Marana Samvitya, then what happened to him? In between whatever the Narakalokas, Swargalokas, he might have gone and come depending on the urgency of the karma phala. It's okay. But Punarjanma Maye Brahme. When he came into the human body again, that's called Punarjanma. That Punarjanma Brahma when he entered. So therefore, from the Jiva standpoint, when he left the body, he is not dead. That Jiva, when he entered the new body, he is not born. Therefore, the samvit is I left the body. That's it. It's not called as death. So, to entering into the body is not a birth at all, but we call it as punarjanma. And that man, Jiva, entering into that body new, gets identified with it as if that is me. So, this is called punarjanma maya brahma. So, marana, sambita, punarjanma brahma. Neither marana happened because by definition the marana means he should not exist. But as a jiva he is there left in the body only. And punarjanma also is bhranti. Why? If it has to have a janma, he should not be there. But the jiva only entered the body. You can't say he is not there. That's why marana samvitto punarjanma brahma. So atha marana samvitya punarjanma maye brahme. So that means what? You and I, when we were in the earlier body, when we left that body, everybody called as death. We also felt as death. But if death happened, we would have not been there. We are there means what? We were not dead. Such we were not dead alone. As per the vasanas to be exhausted through our parents into the new sharira, we have entered only. So already when we are there, how do you call it as janma also? जो नहीं है उसका जन्म होता है, जिसका मरण होता है होता नहीं है. अगर है तो मरण नहीं हुआ और उस है का ही एंट्री हो रही है तो जन्म नहीं खा सकता वो, है ना. लाइक एवरी डे व्हेन आई लीव द हाउस आउट आई वेंट आउट आई डाइड एंड व्हेन आई वेंट इनटू द होम अगेन आई एम बोर्न. ऐसा ही क्या? हाउस इज द शरीर. व्हेन आई एग्जिट द शरीर आई डिडंट डाई. आई एंटर द न्यू डे शरीर आई डोंट बॉर्न, आई एम नॉट बॉर्न. बट यू नो लोग ऐसे कहते हैं, लोग ऐसे कहते हैं इसलिए यू थिंक दे आर राइट. लोग जो कहते हो क्यों सुनते हो? दे आर ऑल मूर्ख. हाउ मच वेदांत दे हर्ड, हाउ मच ऑफ contemplation meditation they have done, how much they with sakshi bhava etc detached from the deha ityadi, did they reach the ativahika sthiti, did they know sat brahma chit brahma? अरे कुछ नहीं बेवकूफ लोग. How do you believe what they say is right? Believe those who are saying from the experience, that is our saints and sages through Shastra. Therefore, atha marana samvitya, when he left the body, punarjanmamaye brahme, when he entered into new life like that of a Viduratha Raja, ये पद्म की बात हो रही है. Padma died. He projected the world in that Akasha. In his chitta, he had the Punarjanma. Therefore, he entered into the Kalpita Raja Vidurata Sharira. उसके बाद क्या हुआ? त्वं ही संविदिता अनेना. He was in the contemplation of you only as his wife, no? He wanted you to be with him. Therefore, he got you. In other words, exactly like you, Leela. But he wanted her to be solid, therefore solidified for him. Once she is solidified, she looks to be solid also for you. But on the deeper contemplation, it's all Ativahika only. And that's why, जब कभी वेदांत की बात होती है ना, individually when I myself reach to that subtle level, then only I will know everything is subtle. When I myself identify the gross Sharia and give it reality and whole day, whole life busy in propitiating it only, then the whole world is grass only to me. जब मैं खुद ही ध्यान कर करके अनेक साधनाएं कर करके this स्थूलता when I transcend, only the ativahikata only is moving, like Saraswati and Leela when they traveled into so many brahmandas, and in one brahmanda into that Brahmana Vaashishtha's gruha. Again from there they went to cross to so many brahmandas and came here to the another Brahmanda where in one of the Khanda in the Bharata Varsha, in that Rajya, this Viduratha they are with. Did they travel with gross Sharira? Nahi na? So by Mother Saraswati's Anugraha and Upadesha, following its script strictly, Leela could reach to that Ativahika Dehasthit. Therefore, all jivas already discussed after leaving the body, they are all in Ativahika state. But they are still, like when they were in the body, conditioned by their own ignorances, vasanas, likes, dislikes, hatreds, everything they are carrying. After death, only one thing happens is this body is left, and this body related people obviously are left. But he will be the same solid mass of ignorance, mass of likes, dislikes. Therefore, he only looks for those shariras entering into which he can exhaust his further samskaras values. And because of his chitta sankalpa, somewhere that sharira is made with all permutation combinations of the total world that is there. And into that he will enter. And that new Sharira can be, if he in this body is in India, that can be some other England, Netherlands, New Zealand, Finland, Greenland, any land it can be, depending on what samskaras he had to exhaust. Combination will occur. And then in that also, nothing is permanent. And if he is having the samskaras to be born in India, he'll be born. But along with those samskaras, if he has to have some other foreign countries' anubhutis, then he will go and settle there as not required Indian NRI. So too, people, jivas, as per their those things, samskara, karma, phala, they will be born in foreign country. But if in them they have samskara, then they will come and settle in Vrindavan. They will come settle in Kashi or in some place. दिख रहे ना क्या आपको? Open up your eyes and see the world. Then relate what you are seeing and what you are studying here, you will understand. Then all that understanding we have to apply on ourselves. In which, where do I stand now? What might be the causes? And what's my present inner status of knowledge and ignorance and the vasana samskaras? Therefore, what would be my future life? That can be an idea can be gained. Then what do you want? Still, you want to be a Stula Sharira and suffer the diseases, old age, and death, and all that? Then get lost in it. Now, if you say, no, no, where is the bliss? The bliss is in Aham Brahmasmi. Then, how to realize it? This way you follow it. In 2-3 lives, you realize it. Finally, be recognizing ourselves to be Chidakasha. Alone is the freedom from both the Ativahika and Adibhautika Deha Bandhana. The Adibhautika Stula Deha, Ativahika is Sukshma. So, atho marana samvitya punarjanmamaye brahme tam hi samvidita anena. Then tvayacha gata eva saha. He was only having in his chitta samskaras of you exactly 100%. Therefore, she got that wife who is exactly like you. Ah. So, one thing it shows that he has love so much for her. Even still, he is Brahma, she is Brahma, mutually also Brahma, Kalpita. Solidified, that's it. Because of many, many lives of insistence or that type of practice. Solid का. तो reverse करके solid is not real, subtle is real, gross is not. When we do that practice, then the adi bhautikata of the jagat goes away from our drishti, which is not as easy as said, but there is that stage. Totally the grass will go away. Everything is seen as subtle. That is the reality. If at all grossness is there, that is only appearance. They won't take it. Like you see the movie on screen. Is it gross or subtler? It is gross नहीं हो subtle ही है. नहीं तो इतना बड़ा 6 फुटर वो 56 इंच वाले टीवी में कैसा दिखेगा वो? See, these are all LKG, UKG में हम हैं अपने spiritual evolution में. Therefore, they are all appearing to be surprises and difficult for us. But imagine that this Yoga Vasana Ramayana 20 times you studied, and all Upanishads some 10 times with Bhashya, and all that knowledge is retained in you or me. Then our drushti is totally Sarvam Brahmamaya. To reach to that gigantic tree level of evolution, we just started now the sowing the seed level. बड़ा वृक्ष बनकर इतने पत्ते फल वगैरह देने के लिए एक पौधे को लगाते हो या छोटा बीज को बोते हो, isn't it? This present seed will be a huge tree after sufficient number of years. Every big tree was a small seed or a plant. So to the big tree type of all realized masters are once upon a time small seed like you and I. You and I right now are at the seed level. A time will come where we are also like them, the big gigantic tree like Jnani. But when will it happen? When that sown seed is protected, it is watered, the tree is continued to grow. अब बीच में किसी भी कारण से वो टूट गया तो फिर वो बड़ा पेड़ नहीं बनेगा. Exactly this is what is the meaning of what we are going to exhaustively study tomorrow in our morning Upanishad class. Mama Brahma Nirakarot Karti. Maham Brahma Nirakuryam, Mama Brahma Nirakarot. The importance of the thought is so much that the Shruti Mata spares time and repeats it 2 times. Maham Brahma Nirakuryam, Mama Brahma Nirakarot. Anirakaranamastu, Anirakaranamastu. That twice repeating is to tell the importance of that. So to realize the self, whatever the qualifications are required, they are also so essential. Therefore, Temai Santo, Temai Santo. 2 बार बता. 2 बार कहना आदरार्थम and मुख्यता प्रदर्शनार्थम. Anyway, that tomorrow morning class, मैं अभी क्यों बताऊं? आ जाओ आप. But there this thought comes that the seed sown will have to be protected till it becomes a big tree. I too sown the seed of Tattva Jnana. Now that I have to protect. And in this, one thing is there, in spite of all conveniences outside, from inside me, मैं अगर सड़ गया है ना, सारा वातावरण अच्छा है बाहर से, बट सीड अंदर से सड़ गया तो पेड़ नहीं होगा. On the other hand, with all the odds outside, if the seed is strong from within, it can grow. So too, with the odds outside, all, whether काल प्रभाव, परिस्थिति प्रभाव, प्रारब्ध, कुछ भी हो, मैं मेरे अंदर से दृढ़ संकल्प लेकर कोशिश करता ही रहता हूँ. So that seed level of spiritual beginning in me slowly can continue to grow to take that big tree shape. What is the big tree shape? That all these shlokas, and in the shloka the meaning hidden, all of that are our direct personal experience in such a way that whenever we are reading these books, whenever we are listening to these satsangas by any Mahatma, we directly know that they are talking about that Brahman which I am already. They are talking about me only. No, at the Jiva level or at your own glorious autobiography level, when I speak something, don't you feel, yes, Swami mere baare mein bol rahe? Some of your things, if I know it, and I talk about them, you think, yeah, mere. Same way, the Upanishads are talking about Brahman, which is me. So when we grow to that tree level, we know that it's Gita Upanishad, सब उस आत्मा के बारे में बोल रहे जो मैं हूँ. You are all Shastras, our own biography, autobiography. याद रख लेना. Why all this is said? That this knowledge, as it is beginning in us, let it grow day by day. So today, in this particular sarga, the very important things that are told are, other than Brahman, the Jiva Bhava here, that is Brahmana Jiva Bhava, then the Padma Jiva Bhava, then Vidurata Jiva Bhava. They are all mithya. And to them, any Sthula Shariras are there, they are also Kalpana. And to them, with the Sthula Sharira, whatever the Jagat around is there of friends, relatives, wife, husband, all of them are solidified Chitta Sankalpas only. To the extent that the entire kingdom, to the extent that the Prithvi, to the extent the entire Brahmanda. Entire Brahmanda. याद रखो दोनों बातें. If I have a lot of money, I'll buy a plane or chopper for myself. If not, in a plane, I buy a seat for that one day travel, 2 hours. मेरे औकात के हिसाब से. छोटू अपने औकात के हिसाब से पूरा ब्रह्मांड ही बनेगा और बना हुआ ब्रह्मांड में कोई एक कुर्सी सीट मिलेगा. That is again sankalpa only. Like, not difficult. You see individual choppers also. You see what do you call them? The plane with a seat for you also. And one can travel in the chopper individually, or he can take one or two depending on the capacity. In that big plane you are going, sometimes उस plane में बहुत कम ही लोग होते हैं, कभी इतना भीड़ हो जाता है. You can see off season में 30-40% only the flight is filled. Sometimes they club, they merge, they अपना बेचारे पैसे बचाने के लिए करते हैं. Keep that in mind. So one of the biggest gain today is you for yourself and for me, for myself and for you. All these individualities are not so real as we take and get attached and get suffered. Not so real they are. Stula is not real, anyway it's dying one day. Sukshma also is not real, it will continue having its reality shape as long as you give value to it like that. Just like आपके अपने घर में खचरा जब तक इम्पोर्टेंट करके आप रखे रखते हो और रहता है 20 साल और एक दिन गुस्सा आके आपने उसको फेंक दी, वो चला गया. वो यू ओनली केप्ट इट सो लॉन्ग, जरूरत नहीं करी, थ्रो इट. As long as we maintain Jiva Bhava, Deha Bhava, it gets maintained. Through the Vedantic Jnana, Shravana, Manana, Chintana, Vicharana, and the Jignasa that I have to realize it, Mumukshuta, that I want to get rid of all the solid and grass, so the grass and chattel, that Parampada Prapti, Anveshana, when that becomes intensified, when we work towards that, in that effort only, all these grasses, shuttles slowly starts withering away. Then we as an individual bound by Stula Sukshma as a Jiva enter into the different zone that Aham Brahmas. Thereafter, for the sake of Vyavahara, if at all any requirement is there, for any of the reasons known and unknown, Stula Sukshma we may take up as per requirement. Like for Leela, Mother Saraswati took the Ativahika Rupa and not. Otherwise, Saraswati Mata is pure consciousness. She is a Brahman, she is consciousness. But in a form traceable, seeable by Leela, has she appeared or not? It is by her choice. Even Leela has done puja to her feet. At that time, she was in the grass. She took that grass form also. Again subtle. But she is Chitrupa mainly. Pure consciousness. Chidakasha. We are all basically Chidakasha Rupa. And then in that Chidakasha, the Chittakasha. In the Chitta, Sukshma Jagat. And again in the Chitta, the Bhutakasha. In that Bhutakasha, the Sthula Bhuta Jagat. Contemplate on this till it is clearly understood. What science is trying to do to find the cause of everything outside, the spiritual giants have found it is inside only. They were lucky at the very first instance that when Drashta and Drashya are there, Drashya is never without Drashta. Therefore, let us search the Drashta. They went in search of Drashta. When they found the source, they realized that Drashta alone is there and nothing like Drashya. Because there is nothing like Drashya, the scientists, when they are searching the Drashya, they end up in there is nothing. शून्यता. क्योंकि शून्य है ही, अदर देन ब्रह्म कुछ है ही नहीं. But that shunyata won't give satisfaction. Purnata only gives. Therefore, Vedanta alone is solution. By saying everything is shunya, you won't get happiness. But everything is Purna and I am that. May these all words find meaning in our understanding. May they inspire us to do this sadhana of transcending Adi Bhautika, Adi Ativahika and reach to the Chirakasha, the Shuddha Tattva. ओके संतो अब आगे जाकर इत्थम त्वाम दृष्टवान एष ओके दृष्टश्चैष त्वयेति च त्वमपि आत्मनि संपन्ना सर्वगत्वाच्चिदात्मनः वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट श्लोक इसको जैसे मॉर्निंग वी वर स्टडिंग इन आवर उपनिषद दी शांति मंत्र सच्चिदानंद सांद्राय आगे से पीछे से आगे तो इस श्लोक का भी देख लेना ध्यान से लाइक गीता ऑल्सो 71 श्लोक हाउ एग्जॉस्टिवली वी स्टडी फर्स्ट इत्थम इन दिस वे त्वाम दृष्टवान एषः in this way that Raja has seen you who is in the form of that other Leela for him Drushtaha cha eshaha tvaya iti cha. And you are also seeing him. You have different set of your own imagination, your own projection, your own bhranti. Tamabhi atmani sampanna. You yourself are projection for yourself. You are the self. You are the stula sukshma dehas are your own projections. Then to you that Leela also is seen. How many things are there? That Raja has his own body, etc. Raja seen Leela. Then you have seen Raja, you have seen Leela, you have seen yourself. All of them are the grossified Chitta Vrittis only. How it happened? Answer is Sarvagatvat Chidatmana. So, the 3-4 things are what? The Chidatma, pure consciousness, is everywhere. When everywhere it is there, is Maya Shakti is everywhere. In that Maya Shakti, the Chitta is projected. In that Chitta, whatever the Kalpana's projections happen, be attentive. They first take the Sukshma Rupa, then they get solidified into Sukshma Rupa, Stula Rupa, which we are familiar with. That is why in this infinite pure Brahman everywhere, anywhere, anytime, anything can appear and disappear. Adhisthana Rupana, he is Sarvatra there, and his Maya Shakti is Sarvatra there. And that Maya is the one which is making all Stula Sukshma projected. Like the water, and water's Shakti, let us say, to appear as a wave, limited to wave level. Where is water in the ocean? Everywhere. When everywhere water is there, where is the Shakti in the water to appear as the wave in the ocean? Because water is everywhere, it is everywhere. So when it is everywhere, anywhere it can manifest. That where it can manifest depends on like the disturbance from within or without, that's called as the sankalpas, the vasanas, etc. As per that. It is from Jiva standpoint said. From the Ishvara standpoint, it is said as per his sankalpa or ichha. Where the wave gets manifested depends on in that local, wherever the localized point, that pressure is created, then the Shakti manifests as wave. That is said from the individual wave standpoint. From the whole ocean standpoint, you say, उसका अपना मर्जी है, शक्ति हर जगह है, अपना संकल्प करके जहां भी वेव प्रोजेक्ट करेगा. Who are you to ask? So in this way, ittam tvam drushtavaneshah drushtaha cha esha tvaya iti cha tamapi atmani sampanna sarvagatva chinatmanah. So the all pervading. Therefore, in you there is consciousness. In me there is consciousness. In everybody there is consciousness. First thing. Second is what? Change the sentence. In the consciousness only you are there. In the consciousness only I am there. In the consciousness that is there. How in the conscious these are there? Without the consciousness disturbed, through the Maya, Shakti, Chitta and Sankalpa, all these are appearing. And the same Sankalpa is making us accept these appearances as real. And in that only all activities. Like that which is Shakti projected, the dream in the dream plane itself is telling the dream world to be real and itself is creating all the apparatus for that individual of this Upadhis, etc. And for the world to the Rupanama, and that Shakti only operating for that play of Drashta, Drishya, whatever to happen in the dream. So in the dream, I have my Indriyas, Mana, Buddhi. Then I have a Sankalpa to go onto the road. So there is a road outside. I keep walking, and there's a wind blowing. There's a nice drizzling happening, nice seen greenery here and there. अरे दिस बंदा मैं और मेरे उपाधियां मुझे बाहर दिखने वाला दुनिया और दुनिया के हाव भाव एंड माई इंटरेक्शन विथ इट दैट एक्सपीरियंस all are projected by the same chitta which has projected the dream. All said and done, the waker is reality. So to all said and done, in you and in me, the Brahman is reality. That's what is the summary of Shloka 3 and 4 or 4 and 5 of 9th chapter Gita. मया ततमिदं सर्वं जगत् अव्यक्तमूर्तिना मत्स्थानि सर्वभूतानि न च अहं तेषु अवस्थितः न च मत्स्थानि भूतानि पश्य मे योगमैश्वर्यम्. Having understood this, we should understand what is our kartavya. First, before understanding kartavya, we should know where do we stand. We are standing now at the level of 90% giving reality to solid, gross 10% to the subtler. हमारा दृष्टि सूक्ष्म में जाता ही नहीं, हमेशा स्थूल स्थूल शब्द स्पर्श रूप रसगंध उसी भोग में है. We have not come into the subtle level much. 5-10% kabhi kabhi, when we are emotional about somebody, thinking about welfare of somebody, that time we are at the gross nahi subtle level mein hai. Or when we are miserable because of some happening, that time we are in the sukshma zone. We are now here in this. Then what should be our commitment? Transcending sthula and sukshma, going to the chidakasha sthiti. Isko, in whatever the language you can, you retain it in the mind. I will retain in my mind. So our goals are to go beyond sthula sukshma and reach to the adhisthana. One way of understanding the spirituality, the Vedanta, the Adhyatmikta, Mukti Marga. Okay, Santo. Then Brahma Sarva, that's what we spoke from last 5 minutes. In this 42nd shloka, it is said, Brahma Sarvagatam Yasmat. Yasmat Sarvagatam Brahma, because the Brahman is all pervading. Yatra Yatra Yado, Yatha Yatra Yadotitam Yadoditam, Yatha Yatra Yada Uditam. Whichever, whatever the way, the Chitta Sankalpa, because of Vasana happen, Bhavatyashu Tatha Tatra. So there, that gets manifested. And what example he gave? Exactly what we said just now. Swapna Shaktaiva Pashyati. Like the Shakti projected Swapna, and in that Swapna, everything also the projection of that Shakti only. There, the animate beings, the inanimate things, the animate beings, upadhis, is emotions, is interactions. All of that is Maya Shakti ka hi projection. Realized it. Okay? Therefore, we need not value this world so much that we cannot be without it. वो वाला attachments वगैरह कम करो. At the same time, the paripakvata in this knowledge, shuddhata in this knowledge, spashta knowledge will come when antakarana is shuddha. For the sake of antakarana shuddhi, continue working in the world, aiming at antakarana shuddhi inside without expecting anything outside. है ना? अब देखो, जब आपके घर कोई बर्तन मांजने वाले आते हैं ना, she comes, washes and just goes with that same hand empty with which she has come. Same way in this world we enter like that maid servant too. Then whatever the work we do as a result of it, we aim at our inner antakarana shuddhi. The outer things are beings, we don't bring into our heart, just like that woman doesn't take the burtan from your house. कभी कुछ लोग करते हैं नहीं करना चाहिए, सारे आके बर्तन वहां से लगे. It happened once in one of the places. कुछ मिस हो गए, इतना तो अवेयर होता है तो इधर उधर गया. One day just like that, That servant was not well. I went to that house to see. उनके उसको देखने के उधर सब दिख रहे थे. ठीक है रे बाबा. मुझे तो दे देते. You know, all that. So what we have to do is, in this entire life, and we are there only to clean our hearts, and therefore we will do only those things by which our heart is purified. And what makes us purified in that in this world, our heart in the world, only the duties that are given to us. When they are done with phalapeksha rahitata, nirahankarata, and sarvam ishwararpanam. Nisangataya tandva prahana purvakam ishwararadhanarthe karma anusthane karma yoge krute sati antakaranam shuddho bhavati. So outer work, antar laksha bahir drushti. Our drushti is outside to do this and that, but the laksha is inside in two ways. One inside is antakarana shuddhi, second inside is the inner self prapti. Fix ourselves in these things. You understand? When we fix ourselves in this and live accordingly for few years, we will see we are in the same world, but not creating any friends or enemies, not creating any likes, dislikes to the world. That's called as freedom. Then the beauty of the world, the enchanting of the world, the joy giving aspect of the world, ये सब उस परमात्मा से आ रहे हैं. इस जगत में किसी में है ही नहीं. जगत जब सत्य ही है ही नहीं, तो उसका फिर सुख शांति सत्य उसका कैसा हो सकता है? When the object itself is not real, how can the qualities belong to it? In this way, we have to keep on educating ourselves. Therefore, collect the data here, contemplate there. The more we contemplate, more clarity comes. And of course, Bhagavan Rama, Vaashishtha Krupa, Mother Saraswati Krupa, and the Krupa of all the Rishi Munis whose Shastras we are studying be on us. That they are blessing us with this opportunity of studying. They must bless us. We will request them, not a demand. We beg them, request them that they also bless us with the ability to understand. The slowly change our drishti from the stula samsaric jagat to the sukshma परमात्मा. करें क्या? अब देखो, सुनकर भी अगर लगता है नहीं नहीं अब थोड़ा इस जिंदगी में रहने दो, आई वांट सम मोर जॉय विद द फ्रेंड्स, विद द वाइफ और चिल्ड्रन, और सम मोर पकोड़े चकोड़े खाऊं, आप फिर फंसे रहो, है ना? Every life in this way, gurus come and teach us about Brahma Vidya. We little bit listen, but कहते हैं चलो बाकी बाद में देखते हैं, पहले इसका मौजा. Therefore, we do those things and get those samskaras फिर अगले जन्म. पर by default कुछ spiritual संस्कार भी है, इसलिए another guru will come or guru comes in another form in the another life, वो हमें थोड़ा धक्का देते. We ourselves knowing this use our own purushartha samarthya of the buddhi to contemplate and understand what is real, what is unreal, and seek only real and eternal, not the ephemeral. Then we do those sadhanas by which every life we keep on growing. तो गुरु हमें बताते हैं, शास्त्र हमें जो बताया है स्मरण के लिए हमेशा तैयार रहते. भगवान gave us the entire jagat, entire facilities, abilities. Now it is the ball always is in our court. How to manage? Few more slokas to conclude this beautiful sarga. अरे बहुत सारे हैं, 52 तक है क्या? हाँ. सर्वत्र सर्वशक्तित्वात् यत्र या शक्तिरुन्नयेत् आस्ते तत्र तथा भाति तीव्र संवेग हेतुतः. That's what. Everywhere Paramatma, everywhere is Shakti. Wherever Tivra Samvega is there for whatever, the manifestations of the gross and subtle of whatever variety, they get projected there. हर जगह पानी में लहर के रूप में व्यक्त होने का शक्ति. तो जहां कहीं उस तीव्रता के अनुसार स्मॉल रिपल और बिग टाइड और बिग साइक्लोन और ओशनिक भवंडर, व्हाट कॉल भवंडर नहीं, व्हाट आर द व्हर्लविंड, व्हर्लपूल, एनीथिंग कैन हैपन in general, particularly in our life. So I am the one who with my sankalpas are making the pure consciousness to appear as this world and getting bound. I only, everything is like that. I only buy money, with money my own gold chain, and मेरे गले पे उसको लटकाते हुए टेंशन लेता रहता हूँ कोई चुराया नहीं. I only pay money and get the dog, and the whole day I'm worried to feed it, to clean what the nonsense it does, to take it for the walk. किसने कहा? You are only doing. Gross examples. I only buy the car even not required. And फिर ड्राइवर लगा उसका सफाई करो फिर लड़ो ड्राइवर से एवरी डे या कुछ को चोट लगा अरे everything is only I am doing sankalpa as in the grass so to in the subtler. ये सब मिलकर दुस्संग कहते हैं दुस्संकल्प. अब एक ही संकल्प करो आई हैव टू रियलाइज द चिदाकाश बाकी बंद करो बस. That's a healthy advice any wise person can give us. If we are wise, we also understand. Om Purnamadaha, Bol Shri Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai, Vaashishtha Bhagavan ki jai, Saraswati Maiya ki jai. Good chapter. Slowly knocking the door, or we are trying to put the key in the keyhole of the lock. Once it gets fitted, we are just moving the key. The lock gets opened. Then open the latch, you enter. What is that entry into? Into those sadhanas where we are able to realize the Sarvadhisthana Brahma. For that, there is sufficient knowledge, sufficient conviction, sufficient techniques to meditate. ये सब जानना है. That is called is putting the chavi and trying to open it. Through our classes, that's what we are doing every day. Continue. छोड़ो मत. आज जो नहीं आया समझ में कल आएगा. In the meantime, try yourself as a Marana Chintan at home. So to pray to entire Rishi Parampara, Guru Parampara, Hey Vaashishtha Bhagavan, Hey Ram Bhagavan, Hey Mata Saraswati. May I understand these topics thoroughly. Pray to yourself, for yourself, and me also. I will pray for myself and to you also. It will happen. Leela prayed, that's why Saraswati Mata came. So when we pray, she'll come for us also. Leela did the jignasa of knowing the truth. Mother is teaching her. So we do the jignasa for us also. The mother will come and teach. Teaching is important. Whether to Rama Vaashishtha is teaching, whether to Leela Saraswati Mata is teaching. For us, the Paramatma will come in one form or the other to teach. Subject is important. Om Purnamadaha. Thank you.